going on, guys? It's Gunna here from Buff Nerd for a P, and today I'm bringing you a little video and it's going to give you some help with one of the boss fights in Hades, and it's going to be Meg. It's the first real boss that you face. It can be tricky at first, especially for new players, so I thought, you know what, let's get together some clips, go through the strategies that I've used to pretty much kill Meg on every single time I fire her. Her attack patterns are pretty predictable, so you are able to dodge and get in a few hits very often and quite cleanly. Like with all boss battles, I think it's safe to say that it's a lot easier the more you unlock, and so Hades is no different. The more you unlock at the mirror, obviously the more easy these bosses are going to be, but that's not to say they're impossible without upgrades, as I'll show you a little bit later on in the video. So let's look at some of those strategies, and we're going to start off with a bow kill here. Now, one of the most important things and the easiest thing to do to get some damage in on Meg is to simply dash in the direction that she charges you. So as she's charging towards you, you'll see me dashing in the same direction, and it means I can then get at least 2 good powerful hits in on her. That's basically the way I chip away at her damage. You can see the projectiles that she throws. That's like an AoE thing. If you're far away from those projectiles, they're a lot easier for you to avoid. So I like to just move away from them. Basically, it gives you more space between them, as you can see here, and I'm able just to avoid that damage completely. Meg dashes in, I move out of the way, and I get in a couple of decent hits. And the only way you really get hit here is if you get greedy and try and get in a few more hits than what's needed. But normally, you can just get in a nice 2-3 hits and then dodge out the way without taking any damage at all. Now, the mobs are another thing that you need to be aware of. Obviously, the longer the fight goes on, the more mobs spawn. So I like to just take out a few when I've got a bit of downtime between DPSing Meg and avoiding her attacks. The other AoE damage that Meg does is the circle floor damage. So that's really easy to avoid. You just wait for it to appear, and then you can triple dash and easily get out the way of it. And if you do get caught in it, it's only normally 5 damage, so it's not really going to do too much to you. But like I said, if you dash as soon as they appear and just keep on the move, you shouldn't get hit with those at all. Now here's me with the spear. Now during this run I had some crazy boons and I was able to get in some massive crit damage. As you can see, I'm critting for over 700 and each attack. I'm following the same strategy as before, just dodging forward when she charges towards me, and I'm able to get those big crits in, and as you can see, her health bar is just almost, well, it's more than half gone already just from about 10 seconds of footage. So this was a really easy kill, but again, just following the same strategies, just making sure I'm avoiding that AoE by putting distance between me and Meg, keeping on the move with the circular AoE, and that little damage there that you see when she chases you, you can actually avoid that simply by pausing, letting the animation take place, and then moving forward again afterwards. So you should never really get hit by that. Here I am with the shield. Just want to make sure that you dodge and you end up being quite close to her when you avoid her charge, so you can get in that melee damage. Obviously you need to be a bit closer than you do with the bow or with the spear, so just get a bit closer, but again following exactly the same strategies, getting in those hits, moving around the room, just rinse and repeat really. Here we go again with that AoE damage. I'm just blocking it with the shield this time. You can charge up the shield and block it, and I'm just going to charge through, kill a few mobs, and eventually I'm going to get the kill here with some melee damage. I think I'm just going to avoid a couple more attacks, kill off a few more mobs. Here's the AoE, just charge out of that. Or just walk out of it even. And get the cast kill there. Now, talking of dodging, you might think that it's very easy to kill these bosses with all of your mirror upgrades. So what I've done here, I'm just removing a lot of my upgrades, and I'm going to do a run with, I think, only about 150 crystals worth of upgrades. So I've got the sword, which is arguably the worst weapon, and I've got the upgrade that just does 400% damage with a single slash. So I'm just dodging, just donking away basically, just following exactly the same strategy. I've not got a very good build, I've not got many upgrades, still able to follow the same patterns and kill Meg pretty comfortably. Now I do get a bit sloppy towards the end of this video actually and take quite a bit of damage. That's more through my lack of patience than it is because the game is difficult. I think once you know these patterns and know how to avoid Meg's damage, then this fight is actually super easy and it should never really trouble you. So just put distance between yourself and the projectile AoE so that the space between the bullets is larger. Once again on the move when the red circular floor based AoE is coming at you. don't focus on the mobs, but kill them when you get an opportunity to. And when Meg is chasing you to perform her, it's almost like a spin attack, you can stand still to trigger the animation and then quickly move out of the way, and you should avoid that damage too. You need to be aware that also Meg can get stuck on enemies, so if she's dodging towards you, she might get stuck behind one of the other mobs, which might mess up your timing a little bit, so just be aware of that. But nothing really here to worry about. Just going to jump now to the kill, just avoiding that floor AoE. I've only got the double dash here, so obviously it's a little bit more tricky, but if you keep on the move, it shouldn't be too difficult. There's a lot of mobs in this room at the moment, so what I'm going to do, I'm just running from one side of the room to the other, just to clear off a little bit of space, so that when Meg dashes towards me, I'm able to get those hits in. Because you don't really want to be waiting for her to charge with loads of mobs surrounding you, because then you're going to lose a bit of life. So I'm just waiting for her to come. I've got a bit busy at this end of the room, so I've gone to the other end. And I'm just going to wait for her to arrive, just going to dodge that projectile AoE damage. Here she comes. And I only got one hit in there, it's bad timing. But I think this is the kill now, pretty clean with a 165 crit. And there you have it, guys. I hope this video was helpful. I will be bringing out a video on the Hydra kills with all 4 weapons. Until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll speak to you very soon.